We all knew this was coming, but it's still funny as hell. So the Daily Wire released their first original comedy, Lady Ballers, which calls out men invading women's sports. And no, I haven't seen this yet. This isn't a review of it. If you're new to this channel, I like to do stuff like this a lot. The review will be coming tomorrow because I'm seeing it tonight. I didn't get to see the premiere because I was busy, and I've been doing stuff pretty much all weekend, so I haven't had time to see it, but I'm seeing it tonight, finally, and I will be reviewing it, because I know there will probably be some people that are wondering if I'm going to review it, because I reviewed last year's 3 Daily Wire movies. So yeah, I'm going to see it, I'm going to review it, so be ready for that tomorrow. But that's not what I want to talk about today. Today, I, of course, want to talk about a lot of the idiots in the media that are crying and whining about this movie. But the first thing I want to talk about is the general public's view. And so, when it comes to Rotten Tomatoes, which we'll get to the critics in a bit, but first, the audience score is at 97%. That's how high it is on this one. I don't remember if the other movies were quite that high, but that's a pretty damn high score, and that's around where What Is a Woman was as well, the documentary by Matt Walsh. And before you ask, yes, I did see that, but I don't like to review documentaries on this channel, same reason I didn't review Candace Owens Convicting a Murderer, because I don't really like... Because talking about documentaries is moot. I like to talk about fiction movies and TV shows. That's what this channel is run on. So I don't really like talking about non-fictional stuff, so I just don't do it, even though I did watch them. But then we also look at IMDb, and I can see that they're still trying to hide scores as much as they can, because if you look at the site without any context, it says 7 out of 10. Now, let me preface that that's still a pretty good score, especially for a movie that has a lot of people that want to whine about this movie. But if you go a little deeper, if you actually click on the score when you get into the site, you'll scroll down and find a unweighted mean. And they started doing this pretty recently. I believe they either started it with The Little Mermaid or with Rings of Power, one or the other, where they will take out some scores of either too positive or too negative if it gets too many positive or too many negative ones depending on the movie or show. If your movie and show is some woke bullshit, they'll take out a lot of the 1-star reviews to get the score to up the score. And if you're something like this, or you're something or anything the Daily Wire's put out, they will take out a lot of the 10-star scores or a lot of higher scores to make the actual number on the front even lower. Hell, even the Percy Jackson movies got this treatment. They're actually, you may be surprised to find this, but they are several points higher than they appear on IMDb. But I'm not talking about Percy Jackson today. I've got that other video in the works I posted on my community tab. So yeah, the actual score for this is at an 8.4, so we can tell where IMDb's priorities lie. And then there's Rotten Tomatoes, which, of course, there's one positive critic. Then there's, of course, the 2 ones that are complaining because they're woke idiots. One of them literally pulled out every agenda-spewing complaint you can have. It's racist, it's sexist, it's transphobic, it's anti-Semitic, it's all of these things, and it's just funny to read. I don't know how these people are certified Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, well, I do know, because they're, liberal, woke dumbasses. So that's how you get them. That's how you get in Rotten Tomatoes' good graces. I'm honestly surprised they're not trying to drop the audience score, like they're not keeping people from giving it a positive review, because like I said, it's up at 97%. And if you look at a lot of the sites, they'll be like, oh, it's transphobic. Nobody gives a shit, because the simple fact is that the fact that they are trying so adamantly to get men into women's sports I've never understood this. Well, no, I get why they're doing it, because they're pushing an agenda. But even just to someone like me, can someone please explain how this is supposed to make sense? Because people saying I identify as basically means I pretend to be. And that's what this movie calls out, and from the trailer, it does it in a pretty hilarious way. And from what they're doing, they're not doing it tongue-in-cheek. They are going 100% into this, no fucks given, and that's what I appreciate. This is what comedy needs. People who don't give a fuck about being canceled, or people whining on social media, calling them racist. That's what's happened to a lot of big-time comedians who I used to like Gabriel Iglesias, or Jim Gaffigan, or Jeff Dunham. They're all political jokes, or they're all too safe jokes. Like, I swear to God, with Gabriel Iglesias nowadays, he will spend 10 goddamn minutes. Like, he'll start the setup for the joke, Like, if he's doing a joke about cops or something, then he'll spend 10 minutes talking about, oh, I love cops, so I'm not trying to offend them or anything. He'll spend 10 minutes doing that before doing the joke, and then he'll restate all of that for another 5 minutes afterward. It's like, they're trying so hard not to be canceled, and that's why I like Dave Chappelle and comedians like that who don't give a fuck. Or hell, just give me a comedian that doesn't make any political jokes, like, at all. Just, he stays the hell out of it. That's what I used to like about Jim Gaffigan, but then his last special was all COVID and diarrhea jokes. That's where comedy's at, apparently, where a comedian can get a special on Netflix talking about nothing but COVID and diarrhea. That's where we're at with comedy, and that's why I appreciate something like this, where it's no holds barred, no fucks given, and if you complain about it, it just fuels the fire, and I largely appreciate that. That's why I like these Daily Wire movies. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to watching this tomorrow, and I guess I will see you all at the review. Bye.